Good evening, everyone.
Chicagoland.
Virtual Chicagoland Speedway, the IROC Challenge Series coming into Chicagoland tonight. And, of course, we're all having some issues with the technical side of things. We do apologize for that. Hopefully we can get this up and running properly. Unfortunately, we're having overlay problems.
Thank you. Good luck up.
Do apologize for that.
One difference is I'm button clutching this time.
I can't display the grid or anything of the sort. Hopefully we can get that rectified here before we get too deep into the weeds here. Try it again. Last minute crashing of the system.
Yeah.
And there we go. So let's try and rattle it off real quick here. The starting grid for tonight's race.
It's like having 3 feet.
Brian McCann on the front row. Starting third, Chris Mefford. Fourth, Jaden Hopp. Fifth is Mike Cook. Sixth is Garrett Johnston. Seventh, John Osborne. Brandon Mefford starts eighth. Trevor Quick, ninth. Jason Nile just 10th. Mike McDonald will roll from the 11th spot. 12th goes to Larry Bruner. Starting in the 13th position is Josh Funkhauser. Rick Kelly, 14th. 15th, Jeff No. Adam Johnson, 16th. Chris Wally rolls from the 17th spot. Stan Carnathan, 18th. Neil Quick, 19th. Doug Wysocki, number 34, starts 20th. And 21st on the field, it's Matt Cobb. That one done nice and quick. Your starting grid for Chicagoland here, the IROC Challenge Series. Again, today being September the 11th, we recognize 9/11. And at lap 11, we will go silent. You'll still hear the race cars making their way around the course, but we will be quiet in the broadcast booth to pay respect to those lives lost on 9/11/2001.
Race cars in. Green flag, green flag. Pit road is now open. Good job.
Race car is off. Green flag in the air. Aaron Smith leads them down.
Clear low, clear low.
Aaron Smith leads lap number 1 here from Chicagoland Speedway. Second runs Brian McCann. Chris Mefford runs in the third spot. Jaden Hopp, Mike Cook in fifth.
Oh no, Wally done wreck somebody. I think I heard he was on a controller. Might have something to do with it.
And apologies, folks, for a bit of a rocky start here. Some early technical difficulties right as we're getting ready to get cranked out here. I think we've got it rectified. No worries. Aaron Smith still with the race lead. Brian McCann closely there in the second spot. And again, we already hearing this right off the bat. It's become a common trend here in the IROC Challenge Series. Drivers saving fuel very early on, trying to stretch it all the way to the finish.
Is he not saving enough? He backed off big time in that corner.
Listening to a hybrid car just coast down by the freeway, but these are far from hybrids. They're the next-gen Cup car with 800-plus horsepower.
Unless he's saving the right rear.
P21, just hit the fastest lap, 30.7.
It's quite ironic. Listen to these drivers just coast through the corners, trying to save as much fuel as humanly possible, knowing that they've got that many ponies under the hood. So it becomes a bit of a waiting game. How long do you go? Save fuel. We've seen Aaron Smith able to save fuel and still maintain a fast pace. We'll see if that remains the situation here. Brian McCann has closed the gap. It's within 1 car length of the race lead here at Chicagoland. Aaron Smith edges out a couple of car lengths, maybe 3 at the most, back to Brian McCann now. We're going to see this for a little while. Again, 120 laps the race distance here tonight.
The leader just did a 31 point.
Drivers are going to contend with a 65% fuel load and only 2 sets of tires available over the wall. It's kind of been the case all season long for these drivers, having to work some strategy. That's okay. Certainly makes things interesting. We've been watching it again all season long.
I can't hear the broadcast, but I hope he knows we're just riding around.
Chris Mefford in third, 1.78 seconds the gap from the top 2 back to P3.
Oh, Aaron got the wall. Let's see if you got damage on that.
Aaron Smith just
If
barely.
you get damage at this track, it's probably going to hurt you pretty bad.
Number 1. Again, folks, want to remind you, lap 11, given that today is September the 11th, we're going to go quiet. Don't worry, my microphone's working just fine. Got to take that as a temporary moment of silence. Nine laps in, Aaron Smith with the race lead. Brian McCann just a couple of car lengths off the back bumper. This is kind of how things started off last week. McCann ended up drifting backwards later on in the race. We'll see if he can stay up towards the front here with Aaron Smith. Right on board with Aaron Smith and listen to him try and save fuel down into turn number 1. He's wide open here, 9,100 RPM. Down across the start finish line, 9,500, and there it is. Clutch it, coasted into the corner, just at idle, picks up the throttle again. Call lift and coast, folks. Aaron Smith out of turn number 4 across the stripe for lap number 11, and we'll go dark the next lap to pay honor to those lost on 9/11.
You can go inside, Trevor.
Lap 11 complete. Aaron Smith across the stripe, still with the race lead, about a quarter-second advantage over the 3 of Brian McCann. Jaden Hopp coming on strong as of late, running in the 3rd position, up 1 spot from where he qualified. Chris Mefford 4th, Brandon Mefford up into the 5th spot. Again, drivers lifting out of the throttle, trying to save his clutch. Sunoco Racing Fuel.
Oh, we got it again.
Trying to extend this out as late as they can, as long as they can.
That one was a little bit more significant than that first one, I think. I can't see down the right side of his car.
Back out front, 2 drivers completely out of the throttle. It is just so unnerving to listen to these race cars roll through the corner, completely out of the gas, clutch in, just running it idle. First thought, you're like, oh, something's wrong. But no, they're just saving fuel. Field already very spread out here at Chicagoland. The top 2 close together. They still have a pretty decent gap back to P3. Jaden Hopp 1.1 seconds back, but he's starting to put some distance between himself and both the Mefford brothers. Chris Mefford in the 46, Brandon in the 83, back into the 5th spot. So the top 5 separated by just over 2.5 seconds. Continue to watch this battle for the 4th position between the brothers Chris and Brandon Mefford. Brandon saving fuel as well. You hear him way out of the gas in the clutch. It's 9,800 RPM down into turn 1 before he lifts. You can see the right turn, trying to get out of the corner, turn right to go left.
Are we gonna make it?
Back out front, the battle for the race lead still.
Because I think we have a
fuel, but they're both
caution comes out, and then we have to complete a full lap and then get behind the pace car, then pit.
only a tenth and a half off the back bumper of Aaron Smith. Lap 18 already. They're clicking by in a hurry. He can't take some peek to the inside on a turn number 2 down the back stretch. And let's just call it a stretch because it's not really straight at all.
I think we'll make it. We'll just be on fumes.
Then you're straight on. Back straight away as well. Just
The leader just did
a very gentle curve.
32.102.
Aaron Smith with 4 wins on the season already. Smith up the racetrack. Brian McCann still in the tire tracks of the 70 machine. Jaden Hopp running third. About a half second back from the race lead, but closing in ever so slightly lap after lap. Chris Mefford and Brandon Mefford further back through the pack in the still 4th and 5th positions. And your audio is not deceiving you folks. Those cars are not running through those corners. They are barely at idle, trying to save as much fuel as humanly possible. Garrett Johnston back in P6. He's had some pace as of late as well. We'll see if he's going to contend for these top 5.
We're going to lap people?
Stages of this race.
Oh, there was a wreck, so maybe that's what happened. Slowed some people up.
Chris Mefford still maintaining the 4th spot over brother Brandon. Back to Doug Wysocki there in the 20th spot. And Larry Bruner trying to battle for position. Bruner wants to take that position away. Not quite close enough to make it happen as of yet. Tell you, Jaden Hopp, though, closing the gap. Again, every lap just a little bit closer. Curious if he's saving fuel. Let's ride on board and find out. Same. Lift, coast, clutch, back to the throttle at the apex.
I guess Jaden's plan is to get the lead here.
Brian McCann and Aaron Smith down.
I think I'm just going to let him go.
Straight away. Got the Euro creation in the stream chat. Thanks for checking in. Currently, right now, I'm only monitoring the HBR TV stream chat for whatever reason, just given our technical difficulties, unable to pull up the stream chats for both platforms right now. Not closing the gap. We're in the battle for these top 3 positions here pretty soon. It's not going to be long. Top is right there, just about 3/10 off the back bumper.
It's impressive. He's got enough fuel to run us down and make it.
Those of you that tuned in earlier, the Lone Star Racing or Howell Graphics Truck Series, and you're watching tonight's IROC Challenge Series, we appreciate you guys being here for both of those races. Continue to watch the top three now. All separated relatively equally from each other. McCann back a quarter a second, and it's about another quarter second from McCann back to Hop. But it's almost 3 seconds to the 83 now of Brandon Mefford as he's taking the 4 spot from Chris Mefford. Mefford 3.5 seconds back in the race lead.
I think he's backing off now. He might have realized.
Peter's already getting into some lap traffic here, only 27 laps in.
You have about 5 laps.
Larry Bruner, the number 30.
This is going to be a little interesting.
On the hit list for Aaron Smith to put down 1 lap. He's going to do everything he can. Try and stay ahead of this 70.
They're not wanting to go a lap down.
When he gets an opportunity. Or maybe just put himself further up in the field here in front of maybe Doug Wysocki or Adam Johnson if he can. It's like trying to outrun a bear. You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the next.
They're fighting for position.
It's Aaron Smith being the bear. Working to the outside of Larry Bruner. Bruner up the racetrack. Crossover from Aaron Smith. He goes to the bottom. We're now down a lap.
Outside.
So 28 laps in, already getting to the tail end of the field here. 21 car field this evening.
There's a car on the high side. Inside, clear low, clear low.
And Adam Johnson here. It looks like he does have a little bit of damage.
You're pulling away from the car behind.
It's right front damage on that 02 machine.
1 second.
Yeah, Jaden really had to drop off, didn't he?
Got about 2 laps left on fuel.
So far, we've got 2 victims to the leaders, and that's Larry Bruner and Adam Johnson, both going down a lap. Doug Wysocki now the last car on the lead lap. That green number 34 just ahead of the leaders. Trying to go around the 81 here. Josh Funkhauser take that spot away. Best way to protect yourself. Don't be the last car in the lead lap. Just keep moving forward. Doug Wysocki trying to do just that. Closing in on Matt Comp now, the number 22.
Outside. You're clear high, clear high. All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, I thought we had one more.
Chicagoland Speedway. And the caution is out. This will be our stage break.
Pull your tires off, get your fans on.
Don't forget to pit this lap for
Your
more
stage
fuel.
winner. First caution of the night. Not for cause.
Got to get used to this button.
Aaron Smith, your stage winner. Now, it looks like Larry Bruner is going to get his lap back here. He'll be the recipient of the lucky dog. First car 1 lap down as the caution comes out. That'll be the 35.
Pace car coming out of 2.
Driver still saving plenty of fuel, even under the yellow. Pushing in that clutch and just coasting around. Not rushing to get back to the back bumper of the pace car.
Has Aaron got enough?
Expect to see some drivers come down pit lane here at the minimum for fuel. Yeah, with 2 sets of tires over the wall, I think it's a little bit early to take them. You might see some guys gamble. Personally, I don't think it's time for tires, but
I wasn't ready for that extra
yeah,
lap.
these Gen 4 Cup cars, that's all you ever want. It's fresh tires underneath you.
Go.
They make so much power.
Let's go, Zero.
Wear them tires out very fast.
Not a gas here. Someone give me an EOL.
And there you have it. Leaders pull down pit lane. Aaron Smith first.
Pit box in.
Ryan McCann, Jaden Hop, Brandon Mefford, Chris
Same for
Mefford, Garrett
81.
Johnston, Carnathan Osborne, Quick,
3,
Kelly.
2, 1. Right here.
Bar,
I think he gave the wrong person an EOL.
13 down pit lane. Chris Wally also in the pits. Wally sporting the 911
that gave me a black
Patriot
flag.
Day logo
There you
on his
go.
machine. Good to see.
Line up single file.
Aaron Smith in the pits.
Who
Looks
is that
like
that got
this
the
may
black
be
out
fuel
getting cleared?
only. Indeed, it was. Same exact time leaving the box as
Next
Brian
day,
McCann. So Aaron
microphone.
Smith's going to get out first.
74.
And 88 also got one for passing.
51 for passing, guys.
That we're going to step aside, get a short break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
fast there and there.
I met Marcos Garza when
I'm
we
one of
were
them.
doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza
All
Law
flags
Firm.
should
Let
be
us help.
cleared. Let me know if there are any still out there.
It's telling me to let the 55 by, but I believe I beat him off pit road. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I'm staying here. I don't know what's up with that. They give you a speeding or something?
No, it just said that you had the position before the caution came out, but I don't know.
It's not showing any flags for you, so I believe he just beat you off pit road.
I noticed when you try to give the 00 a EOL, you gave the 88 a EOL.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, guys.
Yeah, I think so too, because I did get that EOL.
I do apologize about that.
A lot, like a lot.
I can't figure out these buttons.
Take me outside.
Oh, I thought he said catch me outside.
Alright, man, we're going green next time by. Alright, man, line up on the outside row now.
Back at Chicagoland Speedway, wrapping up our first caution. Pace car lights are off as they exit turn number 2. So the next time by will be the green flag and a restart. Aaron Smith's going to lead them down here. Looks like he's opting for the outside.
I wonder if he's going wide open or if he's
You can
fuel
leave
saving
him be and
again.
just clear flax from the start, right?
Brandon Mefford, Jaden Hopp.
Yeah.
Jaden Hopp, Brandon Mefford for that matter. Hopp on the inside there in the 4. Brandon Mefford, the
Get
83
ready.
up on the high lane.
I'll clear all on the start.
Alright, man, the pace car is in. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Aaron Smith with a good jump on the restart. The advantage over Brian McCann. 3/10 as they get into turn number 1. 36 laps already in. Watch the battle for the second spot. Brian McCann and Brandon Mefford. Jaden Hopp's trying to take advantage on the bottom side. I don't know if Mefford slid up the racetrack inadvertently or if it was just trying to build a run. It seemed to work. Pays off, stays in the 3rd position into turn number 3.
I guess I can still button clutch, but race harder.
Throttle, saving as much fuel as possible.
Nah, he's button clutching early. That's how I gained so much there. So he's still fuel saving.
And Carnathan back in the 5th spot with pressure from Jeff No coming. Carnathan up 13 positions here so far. As Jeff No goes to the bottom here, he's going to try and take that 5th position away, and he does with ease. Now the 88 of Jason Niles just trying to attack and do the same thing. Carnathan drops to the bottom. slows the run from the 88 start-finish line. Just a matter of time here. The 88 goes to the bottom here. Niall just making the move for the position. Carnathan up the racetrack with the 31 of Rick Kelly in behind. He's licking his chops, hoping for more of the same. He can close in and take a position away from the 82. Nathan up the racetrack again. The 88 of Niall just continues to work the bottom lane. Up into the 6th spot now. Carnathan back to 7th. Might fall into the clutches of Rick Kelly here in just a moment. Kelly drives it deep into turns 1 and 2. Garrett Johnston back.
I'm not dumping the clutch right on that turn.
Love to get around Chris Mefford there in the 46. Mefford's trying to make his own plans here, trying to get around the 31 of Kelly. Mefford to the bottom. Kelly stays up on the banking through the trioval. Mefford down to the bottom.
A little bit better.
Kelly holds him up.
Over revved it.
Maintains the 8th position. Big wiggle from Mefford up the racetrack. Keeps it out of the fence.
Overdrove that.
Garrett Johnston looked like he had his hands full for a moment with Mike Cook knocking on the back door from that 10th position. Chris Mefford still fighting the 31 here. Rick Kelly, he's fighting the race car, trying to keep that thing going straight down the racetrack. Mefford trying to take advantage, but Johnston might be trying to do the same as Mefford had to check up to avoid getting into back of the 31. Mefford back to the inside. Again, this for the 8th position. Mefford gets a nose out in front, not quite clear. Can he come up the racetrack? Slide job a little bit, maybe? Nope, not quite. Drops it back to the racetrack, but I think he is clear. Mefford up in the 8th spot now. Next on the list is Stan Carnathan in P7. I'll check out our race leaders again. Aaron Smith still out in front. 0.2 of a second, the advantage over Brian McCann. Again, as we saw at the beginning stages of this race, they pulled out a bit of an advantage over 3rd place Brendan Mefford. It's about 0.8 back to P3. Top and 4th, the 55. Jeff Doak running 5th. It's a little loose on corner X into turn 2 there. So allow the 55 to close the gap a bit. Goes back to the bottom of the racetrack to see if he can get out of the corner better this time. He's up the racetrack, having to chase it just a bit. Out of the race lead, still relatively close. 1/4 second back to Brian McCann. Then Stan Carnathan in 7th. Chris Mefford on the back door. Jason Niall just ahead. And we still hear it. Drivers lifting out of the throttle, trying to save as much fuel as possible. Laps just ticking by very quickly. 46 in already. 15 shy of halfway. Chris Mefford having some connection issues. We see him kind of blinking in and out Thankfully, he's there now and not in too tight of a battle to be too much of a worry to the drivers around him. Talked about that much here throughout the course of the season and other seasons here at HBR and IROC TV. We're all working on computers here, and occasionally there could be some internet connectivity issues or just PC issues in general. We got our own problems to start the broadcast, but you can see it with Chris Mefford, the 46. Occasionally that car blinks out and disappears from the racing surface. The scary part about that is if you're standing car Nathan, you assume the driver's there, and then all of a sudden he's not. Now the question is, where does he land when he comes back? So you kind of have to be really careful and cautious to prevent a major issue if that driver lands in your lap when he comes back in. Mefford making a move on Garnett. Up to 6 and going to get clear. Garrett Johnston is behind the 82. Mefford might be clear into 3. No, not yet. Oh, almost in the fence was Mefford. Trying to reel in Jason Nilovitz. This would be for the 6th position. Turn number 4. Now still over there alongside the 88. Pucks back in behind him. Stays at the bottom of the racetrack. Now comes up to pull the draft off the 80. Drives it back to the bottom of the racetrack. Mefford trying to work his way through the field. Wasn't able to make the pass complete on the 88 machine. Might dive it down here and slide up the track. Not enough room to do it. It may open the door for Garrett Johnston at 12. Still alongside here at the stripe. Lap 52 is up on the board. Chris Mefford put the pressure on here at this stage of the game.
All right, man. Caution
Lines
is
up
out.
the racetrack, not able to stop the run from the 88, or is he? On to turn number 2.
Ugh, what a horrible place for a caution to come out.
When Mefford goes around, the caution is out.
Horrible. This is a situation where I've been in like every race and made the wrong decision.
Thrown to get back on the track.
Appreciate that.
Brandon Mefford in trouble, puts us under our first caution for cause of the day.
So we're not to 60 yet.
So while we have the chance here,
now open.
let's take a look at it, see if we get a better
I
view.
didn't mean to do that there.
Was there contact?
I guess
Mefford was up the track
My bad.
just barely.
60,
88
30.
gets into the right rear of the 46, right in front of the 32 of Johnston. Great job getting on the binders for the 32 to not make contact with Chris Mefford.
I don't know. It don't matter.
There you have it.
I think it's luck anyway.
So with that said, I know this is Chris Mefford we've been talking about, but Brandon Mefford, I want to make a note here.
It all depends on if another caution comes out.
Race that's got coming up here September 23rd. It's a fundraiser here. Get Care for Kids 200. It's going to be at Michigan Speedway with the Craftsman Truck Series trucks.
Finds that on the 88.
Charity event will be broadcasted. PTM Racing TV is going to cover it.
Right here.
Everything kicks off here at 8 p.m. in the East. It's only a $15 minimum donation to go ahead and run that race. He's trying to fill that field. So if you guys are interested, you're iRacers, and you can't find Brandon Mefford, just hit us up here in the Discord or even make a comment in the YouTube chat. Either way, someone will get in touch with you. I'll get this thing worked out here as far as getting your entry set and ready for Michigan Speedway. Brandon Mefford down and away. It looks like he did take some tires this time because we're just about halfway. Aaron Smith appears to either taking fuel only or right sides only. Same for Jaden Hopp. A 7.8 second stop for Smith. 8.1 for Jaden Hopp, so he's going to inherit the second spot. Brian McCann loses a position.
So I'm on tires. He's not. That makes it different from every week.
Looks like
I mean,
it's going to be 4 tires and fuel, so he's going to be a little bit faster.
Typical. Always do opposite what he does. So
out of the box, we get back to the green flag.
that means I need to go to. Where are we going to go green
While we
at?
have the chance, we're going to step aside here, get a couple of breaks out of the way. We'll be back after this.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear, apparel, needs,
57.
racing apparel. Pick it up today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments.
So I guess I just save here.
Brokerage, drop lot facilities,
Taking the outside.
just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in
Gotta burn my tires off. That means I gotta burn my fuel.
Missouri and Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh,
Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC series. Kyle Steffens, UMP modified and Silver Crown driver, and Cordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net. Find us on Facebook.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been
but now I'm in the position where I'm hoping it goes green.
genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you.
All
And
right,
that's
man,
what
we're going
Marcos
green
is,
next
and
time
that's
by.
pretty much
All
what
right, man,
this
line
firm
up on the
is.
inside
The Garza
row.
Law Firm. Let us help.
And every time I've been in a position hoping for yellow, it never comes. So this time we'll probably get plenty of yellows. The one time that I try to go for a green run. Even if it's even if a yellow comes out, I'm not screwed, so I just needed to come out like late. And only one of them. It's got oddly specific here.
Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Fits it short,
Get ready.
sneaks through, and I think short.
Come on, catch the pack, guys.
All right, man. Pace cars in.
Back at Chicagoland Speedway, wrapping up caution number 2. Pace cars making the hard left turn down pit lane.
Got one
Back
inside.
green flag racing right away, and Aaron
Stay
Smith
high.
in the throttle
There's the car
hard.
below side.
Jake Hop caught
Clear low,
sleeping on the
clear low.
restart. He's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots
got
here.
plenty
Brian
on
McCann
that
to his
as well, man. I was
outside
on
as they
slow,
work
but
into
I
turn
never
number
crashed.
1.
The 88 got a, yeah, I was going to tell him to clear that. That was because of me.
10-4. Thank you, guys.
Now, given that Hop did not take tires on that stop, I have to wonder, did he spin the tires on the restart?
You're
But
in
just
third
like
place.
that, Brandon Mefford to the point. He's going to be the new race leader here. Lap 58 from Chicagoland takes it away from Aaron Smith. Again, Mefford
Outside.
did take tires on his stop where Aaron
Next
Smith,
car is the leader.
7.8
Stay low,
second
there's
stop.
a
It
car
was
on the
quick.
high side.
But you may have saved
You're
some
clear
tires
high,
for
clear
later on
high.
in the run as we're just shy of halfway. Brian McCann's going to make the move and go to the inside. He'll take P2 away from Smith as well. Once again, tires being the advantage. Brian McCann really fast into the corner. He had to check up big time to avoid contact with the 83 in the middle of 3 and 4.
The car in P4 just hit the fastest lap.
30.71. Got one inside. Stay
Johnston
high.
making the move to the inside
All
of
clear,
Aaron
all
Smith
clear.
as well. He's going to quickly take the 3rd spot. Aaron Smith dropping anchor here on the restart here. Lap 59. Again, did not take fresh rubber.
I don't know what the right strategy is.
You just hit the fastest lap.
You're in first
Hi,
place.
Neil.
Lap 60 up on the board, halfway here from Chicagoland. Brian McCann, the race leader, over Brandon Mefford, very quickly took that spot away. Now Mefford under attack from Garrett Johnston. Going to lose the second spot here if he's not careful.
The car in P2 just hit the fastest lap. 30.666.
So did he get tires too if he's running that time?
Johnston not so much on the back bumper of Mefford anymore.
I guess he did.
Lose touch slightly. Yeah, Mefford and Johnston both taking tires during that last caution. In fact, our top 3 drivers all opting for fresh rubber. Ironically, though, Brandon Mefford's last lap, a 30.67, fastest of the day of the race thus far. And he bests it once again, 30.6.
So this is going to put me around 80.
Here, taking a peek to the outside of Brian McCann on a turn number 2. Wants to
we get another set of tires and be a splash and go, right?
low, nothing doing there in a 3. McCann with a 10th and a half over Brandon Mefford, but Brandon seems quick at the time being. Up the track, less than a 10th between the top 2.
Inside. Still there?
It's a little bit deeper into the corner than Mefford, but Mefford's going to take a look to the inside. Down into 1. Does he got room? He does. McCann gives him the space.
Stay high. There's the car on the low side. All clear, all clear.
Out front for Brandon Mefford, down into turn number 3. He's got the lead back, takes it away from Brian McCann.
3-5.
Good job. The next car is the leader.
Top 3 all in their own little zip code. Mefford, McCann, Johnston. It's another 4 seconds back to the 0-0 of Mike Cook.
I think he's using a little bit too much tire for 20-lap run, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, Larry Bruner down pit lane here. Not sure if he's got a different issue or not. His pit stop last coming just a few laps ago was 4 seconds, and that was about it. Does he take tires? He does. He's going to bolt the right sides on for now. Crew goes around to the left. Does the jack go underneath? It does. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for Larry Bruner back in the 20th spot. Don't know if this was unscheduled or not. He's back out into the race here. We'll see if this works out for him in the end strategy-wise. Back the race lead here. The top 3 under a blanket. Across the stripe, Brandon Mefford leads it over Brian McCann, and 32 with Garrett Johnston.
I didn't realize the guy behind me had that big of a run.
Thing of beauty, watch these guys race around here, all tight group.
Brandon has slowed down though.
Top 3 close together here into turns 1 and 2. Folks, I don't know if you're iRacers yourself that are tuning in to watch this race, but if you haven't had an opportunity to try and drive this Gen 4 Cup car, you got to give it a try. It is a major handful.
There's a car on the high side.
Got to be precise on your throttle inputs, and real loose on the turn 4 is Brandon Mefford. Opens the door for Brian McCann. McCann to the bottom. Mefford's going to let him go.
Got one outside.
Johnston might take advantage.
Good job, man. Now you're the leader.
Mefford may go from P1 to 3rd here in moments' notice, and he blocks the run out of Johnston. Hits the apron and slides back up the racetrack. Still fighting with McCann here for the top.
He's got the preferred line out of 1.
Still not clear.
Stay low.
2.
All clear.
I don't think he's got the preferred line here though. Damn, he's gonna. I got the fur
Got
line.
one inside.
I think I got him on the outside.
Stay high. Still there? Hold your line.
Side by side for the race lead. Mefford goes back to the bottom. Mefford and McCann have exchanged the lead twice, and it looks like it's going to be a third time here.
Got one inside.
Careful. As they do this, though, they're starting to encounter some more lap traffic.
Stay high.
Adam Johnson drops to the bottom, lets the leader go on by.
3 wide, you're in the middle. You're clear high.
Mefford, McCann, side by side.
The next car
On
is
to
clear.
turn 4. I
You
don't
got one
know if
outside.
McCann got a
2
piece of the
wide
wall there or not.
All clear, all clear.
Not a great run for the 83. Now they're 4
Yeah, one
wide for a
inside.
moment. Lap car, Larry Bruner in the mix.
Slightly scary.
Trevor Quick in the 5.
Still
He's
there.
up the racetrack. Now the battle for the race lead. It's Mefford and Johnston. McCann drops back to
Stay
P3.
Clear low, clear low.
And the tire tracks of Brandon Mefford down into turn number 1. Johnston still on the attack, trying to take away the second spot from Brian McCann. Car length between the 3 and the 32, about a half car length between the 83 and the 3. Mefford really backing up his entry just a bit. That's why McCann's able to close the gap so much on corner entry. That just means Mefford's able to get back.
Trying to drive and think about my next pit strategy.
On exit. Half a car length back to the 3 of McCann. Out of turn number 2. Mefford still maintaining the top spot. Lap 74 of 120. Hate to break away, folks, but we got to do it. 1 HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude.
Because that's what's going to win this race.
We needed sponsors.
Not this back and forth that we're doing right here.
He's the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Somebody bidding this time.
So he's going to go get tires this time. I need to stay out in case he goes a lap down. If he goes a lap down, then we're golden. So we got about a 6-lap window here, but he's going to make up a lot of time on that 6-lap window. That's the problem.
Outside. You're clear high, clear high.
I didn't get to see how many seconds he was behind. Let's see where he comes out of the pit at. Yeah, so he's 1 lap down.
You have about 5 laps left on.
So do I risk it here or play it safe? Hey, Repeat, how's it going?
Inside. Stay high. Clear low, clear low.
Yep.
Going
How
good.
are we gonna do it?
Back at Chicagoland Speedway, Brandon Mefford still with the race lead over now the 32 of Garrett Johnston.
That's it, Mike.
Ryan McCann slips back to the third spot. 35 over the next car in line, but not on the lead lap, running 19th. Now let's talk about this. Aaron Smith made his pit stop here just a few laps ago. Up until this very moment, nobody else had taken that opportunity until Brian McCann comes down pit road here. Curious how much track position Aaron Smith has gained by basically short-pitting effectively the undercut. Able to run faster lap time. Lap at 30.54.
22 and 34 pitting. 22,
All right, that's
34
it. Go.
Leader's last lap at 32.16 as Brandon Mefford now comes down pit
The leader
road.
is coming up on you. They're not F5.
Mike Cook takes over the top spot.
Got one outside. All clear, all clear.
I was wearing the fronts a little bit.
Side tires going on.
Inside. All clear, all clear.
More tires and fuel for Brandon Mefford. He's down and away here, lap 83 for the 83.
But I passed him on pit road, so
Cook,
there he goes, here I go.
0. Garrett's the top spot. He's got a 4.
I'm just in a little bit, or actually I'm lucky dog right here, so I'm sitting pretty good.
The car in front is pitting.
Pit stops just about
Now I'm back on the lead lap.
here as it stands right now. Only 7 cars for that matter on the lead lap. It's going to be 6 here in just a moment as McDowell hits pit lane. But now Mike Cook comes down pit road as well.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is
9.3
seconds.
I need to look to see where Aaron's at. Six seconds behind me.
Fuel only for the 00. Down and away. And car Nathan now here at the top spot.
The gap is
He still needs to make his pit stop here. His last stop at lap 55. Same for the other top 4 drivers, Osborne, Nilgis, and No. Ryan McCann making his pit stop at 81. He'll inherit the top spot here when the time comes. Aaron Smith, though, in 8th.
Got one outside. Good job, man. You're in 5th. Stay low. There's a car on the high side. All clear, all clear.
They've been saving big fuel.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is
5.3
seconds. You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is
4.9
Ryan McCann in catbird seat here in 5th. Effectively take over the top spot here once the pit cycle completes.
44 is pitting, 44 is
As it
pitting.
stands right now, the top 11 on the lead lap. That driver being Mike Cook in the 00. Chris Wally runs 12th. First car 1 lap down, so if we were to get a caution here, he'd be the lucky dog. He'd get back on that lead lap.
You're
back and forth.
Pit cycles continue. Carnathan hits
We
pit
got
road.
one.
So does John Osborne. Jeff No now to the point.
Got one outside. All
McCann
clear,
up
all
into
clear.
P3.
I think Aaron
Cars on the lead.
will win on fuel alone.
You're gaining on the car in front.
Get here.
You got 2 seconds.
No, wait, he pitted before we did. Never mind.
You're back in second. Both cars
He would
down
have to
low.
pit after.
85, you can put this on.
But he will get a last set of tires
Good
on his
job,
last
back
pit
car is
stop.
leader.
And now up into the second spot, the 55 of
And he's got 8 seconds to make up.
on the pit stop.
You got one inside. All clear, all clear.
I did not know where he was going.
On older tires, McCann's going to chew him up pretty
Oh, he's going to the pits.
McCann goes to the outside. No, he's going to hit pit lane here, and it looks
The
like
leader is sitting now. Good job. You're back in
that
first.
is the case. Down on the flat, into pit lane, making his pit stop. Likely going to lose a lap here for sure, even if he does something different. In 55, he's on the ground. No jacks needed here. 11.2 seconds. I don't know. The extra few seconds I almost would have taken 4, but it would have been. Real quick in the pits. Going up on the can. Real quick down and away. 4 tires at fuel. 15.02 seconds with a 2. So Brian McCann has inherited that top spot
one
once
outside.
again. He's got 3 seconds
You're
on
clear high,
the 83
clear
of
high.
Brandon Hefford at this stage of the game. Back to 12 cars on the lead lap as Carnathan in the 13th position goes a lap down to Brian McCann. Race is just going by in a hurry. 93 laps in of 120 already. We haven't even cracked 1 hour.
You got one outside.
Car on
All
the apron
clear,
on the
all
bottom.
clear.
Not sure who that was. May have been the 5 of Trevor Quick.
35 fitting.
I see you, Jake. Now stay high.
What lap am I going to have to pit on? 15 from here.
Real Quick goes around.
5, 110.
Quick
ish.
in the 19th spot as Larry Bruner hits pit lane again.
So I got to go 10 laps of fuel. So how much do I got to get? That's going to be
Aaron Johnson's closed the gap now within a car length, maybe a car length and a half off the back bumper. Up Brandon Becker. We get a car in the wall. Stan Carnathan.
no, don't nobody wreck.
Track scrape the right sides onto the safer barrier. Continues on. No harm, no foul, no yellow.
Yellow comes out. Aaron wins.
McCann still out in front. Efforts closing the gap though. It was over 3 seconds not too long ago. It's now down to 2.8. Only a 1 lap difference between the 2 pit stops. McCann came down at 81, Mefford at 82. Both drivers on their 4 tires in Sunoco Racing Fuel. Now this very well just could be Brian McCann just taking care of his stuff. Shed that lead, that deficit back to P2 very slowly in an effort to save a little bit of fuel, take care of the tires, so that when Mefford does get there, he's got a little bit left in the tank, so to speak, to fight him off. Coming to 24 laps to go here. Mefford down to the apron, shorten up this track as much as possible. While Chris Mefford hits the pits. Smefford, the number 46 machine. Now, I would venture a guess here that this is going to be Mefford's final stop of the day. Should be all the way to the end from here. Smefford. Swally just leaving the
22
pits.
pitting, 22 pitting.
Pitting.
Matt Kopp, the number 22, he heads down pit lane here with 23 laps to go. This is the pit stop cycle that we want to watch here to see who takes tires, who doesn't. Obviously, they need fuel to make it to the end. Waiting on the fuel, and Kopp's down and away. Aaron Smith back to pit lane. Comes in as the fourth place machine.
The car behind you is pitting.
Curious to see if Aaron takes tires here. He does. Right sides go up in the air. Going to be a 4-tire stop. The 70 of Aaron Smith. Again, multiple wins already in the bank this season. Doesn't need to make any crazy gambles here. He just does what he needs to do. Takes the tires for maximum performance. 21 laps to go. Aaron Smith's going to be shot out of a cannon here. Brandon Mefford, Garrett Johnston in the pit lane.
Yeah, he just used his last set. We used it early.
Drivers.
So he's banking on a caution. If he gets a caution, he wins. I've already used my last set, so this is all I got.
Laps to go. Brian McCann still your race leader. Remember, he came down at lap 80.
It's always a gamble during these races the way it's set up. Either gambling for a green flag finish or a yellow finish.
Since right now, the top 3 drivers, the only
he chose yellow this go around.
In P4.
And I chose green, so.
Lucky dog if we were to get a yellow right now, and I'm telling you, the top 3 drivers would be licking their chops for a yellow flag right now.
4, 9.
We'll see who gets lucky.
Aaron Smith just running his fastest lap of the day at 30.35 for the number 70. Like I said, he's going to be on a tear. Doesn't need to save fuel, doesn't need to save tire. He can just go. Push that right pedal all the way to the wood. Lines up in front of the O2. Adam Johnson.
I'm curious as to why Brandon and
over Jaden Hopp,
third place pitted.
I don't think he's got enough to go all the way to the finish here. He's going to have to make one more stop. Same would apply for Hopp and Kelly. That's my guesstimate at this stage.
You got about 5 laps.
17 laps to go. I got to say it, I think Garrett Smith's in a pretty good position here. They got work to do, though. It's not a foregone conclusion.
I got the whole field a lap down right now, so I'm staying out as long as possible.
Ninth on the scoreboard. I began on a turn 2. Matt Kopp with a run. Likely fresher tires. Going to take a look, but gives the spot to McCann for the time being. McCann stays on the racetrack here. No sense in pitting just yet. Drops into the apron. Just hanging that right rear out. And still 22 seconds the advantage for McCann over second place.
Yeah, one inside.
Rick Kelly 26 seconds back at P3. Rick Kelly really with the best time.
I I don't need to be messed up by Matt, though. I'm still running lap times here. Because whatever Brandon pitted,
Kelly's pit stop coming
I only got a 3-second wiggle room for him.
or more recent for that matter. Yeah, Steve.
I know Matt wants his lap back, but
We have about
I'm
2
still
laps to
racing
go.
right now.
The car behind you is pitting.
Jaden Hopp hits pit lane. From the second spot, Rick Kelly up into P2. This might be the indicator. Let's watch Jaden stop here. It's fuel only again late in the race. 12.5 laps to go.
Mike, sorry.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Kind of have to look up there. You were.
Yeah, so right sides for sure.
Oh, that was an early entry.
4 tires and fuel for Jaden Hopp.
Playing it safe, though. Wasn't bad.
Make his way to pit lane for his final stop.
Could have been better.
12 to go as the race
Pit
leader.
boxing 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
.60-mile-per-hour speed limit
All right,
down
that's
pit
it.
lane.
Go.
It seems fun on the highway, but man, is it slow compared to race pace. McCann into the pit box, stays on the ground. Fuel only for Brian McCann. A quick stop, 7.28 seconds, and he's down and away. Rick Kelly takes over the top spot as McCann exits pit lane. He's got only a 2-second advantage.
There we go, Brandon. I don't know who's in the lead. Rick
Brian McCann is
Kelly.
trying to come up to speed.
Lap 85, yeah, he's got a pit. As long as the caution don't come out, I think I got it here.
I think Brian McCann might be
Unless Aaron can run me down in 10 laps,
laps to go. Yes, he'll inherit
which I suppose is possible.
on the charge. He goes from 4th now to 3rd place.
Car 30.
Remember, Aaron Smith,
Taking the
he
lead.
took tires
I'll
on
have to see what his lap times are here.
10.5.
Oh, yeah, he's
Brian
coming.
and he's only about
Well, second place. I'll take second place.
last lap for Aaron Smith was a 31.
Turned out,
One outside. The car behind you is closing on you. We
oh
got
yeah, he's 100% going to pass me.
Stay low, there's a
Good eye
car
on
on
Brian
the high
McCann,
side.
see what he
Clear
runs
high,
here.
clear high. We have 10 to go this time by.
At the stripe
I wonder how much I can block him when he gets here.
and across the line of
You're gaining
32.06.
on the car in
So
front.
The gap is 1.
Aaron Smith runs a 31.32, so we're talking a half a second a lap quicker. Smith's back about 2 seconds plus. He is absolutely, if he can get through this traffic, he's going to catch Brian McCann. While Rick Kelly staying out of the racetrack. Now we're back to 15 cars on the lead lap. Matt Kopp, the 22, the 16th place. First car, 1 lap down. Kelly out of turn 2. Again, on older tires. He just seems so slow comparative to those with fresh rubber. Kelly's going to need to pit, I think, here just to make it to the finish, at least on fuel.
1.6 seconds.
His last lap at 32.92 versus Aaron Smith at 31.47.
Yeah, I got nothing for new tires.
Turn 1. Checks up just a bit. Kelly was starting to angle down into the bottom lane.
Outside. All clear, all clear.
Ryan McCann now within a couple of car lengths or less. He's just going to take the spot down into turn 3. McCann back to the point. Coming to 7 laps to go, but Aaron Smith,
All right,
he's coming.
Get back in first. Outside.
Aaron's going to pass me, no problem.
Still there? Hold your line.
Aaron Smith now
Stay
the
low.
deficit less than 1 second, 6.5 laps to go. Brian McCann is going to run for
All
his
clear,
life
all
here.
clear.
I don't know if I'm Brian McCann. I don't know if he had an extra set still over the wall, and I know hindsight's 20/20 and all, but man, I'm Brian McKenna. I want those fresh tires right now because he is in trouble. 6 laps to go. McCann with just 0.4 of a second over Aaron Smith. Lap car, Matt Kopp in between.
Aaron, you ready for this big block?
Don't forget about New Hampshire.
Aaron Smith side Kopp quickly dispose of the 22.
Five laps to go. Inside.
Smith goes topside, might cross him over here, taking a look way up the racetrack. Switching it up again, back to the inside. Aaron Smith going for the race lead with 5 laps to go.
Came down to a 4-lap
And on board with Brian
crossover
and Aaron Smith takes
on strategies.
with less than 5 laps remaining. Aaron Smith to the point. The 4-tire change for his final stop of the day is starting to pay. Very quickly and easily takes care of the 3 of Brian McCann. Rick Kelly finally hitting pit lane for his final stop. Splash and go certainly for the 31.
Full car down low.
Aaron Smith back into turns 1 and 2.
A poor right rear tire.
To go. Stretching it out again over Ryan McCann. It's about a half second on a turn 2. He's side by side with the 88 machine. That's Jason Nile just.
All right, man, 2 to go.
Jason's actually fighting back pretty solid here on Aaron Smith, though his tires are up.
Oh, 3 wide.
Than Aaron Smith. Smith back to the bottom, less than 2 laps to go.
Outside. White flag, 1 more lap to go. Still there. Stay low.
Smith on a turn 4 here, looking for a white flag. There it is, final lap here from Chicagoland Speedway.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 1.
Aaron Smith started pole position, looking for yet another race win.
Well, it took a gallon too much, but
last lap into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time.
that ain't what cost me the win, though, so.
Nile just put him a lap down as Nile just gets in the fence. He didn't want to lose that lap, but it is what it is. On to turn number 4, the checkered flag waves. Barney's waving it hard, and Aaron Smith's pounding his fist. He takes the win here at Chicagoland.
There you go, man. Good job.
Good win, Aaron.
Well,
second place, Brian McCann. Brandon Mefford, 3rd. Garrett Johnston, Chris Mefford, the top 5.
Don't follow Brian McCann's strategy.
Hey, it was close this time at least.
Aaron Smith with the race win.
Yeah, good race.
I did not mean to spin you out. I meant to bump you.
It's all good.
Brian McCann
Fantastic
giving him a love tap there at the start-finish line.
Chris won't need me around anymore.
Aaron Smith, best backwards driver there is, next to Mater.
Hey, nice win, man.
Oh, that's a nice one there.
Brandon Mefford just driving right over him. That's all there is to it. Those are our top 3 drivers, folks. We're going to jump out here and get a
Yeah, man. See you at Charlotte.
top 3 after this. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He's concerned for people.
I got to stick around for an interview, but
about
I'm trying to think of replays.
That's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
There was one wreck. Oh wait, that was a stage.
Aaron, I do believe I'm going to have to get driving lessons from you and Brian.
There it is. Who was it that wrecked him here? Jason was pulling that outside, wasn't he? Mefford was blocking and showed the inside wall. He didn't hit nothing, so was that a caution? Yeah. All right. So that was the only wreck, right? Wally did something. Early on. I have no idea what lap that would be, though. He said he was on controllers, so... Damn, he's button clutching on the controller? I've never tried iRacing with a controller, but he's doing a pretty good job at it. This right here was a slow lap.
Our Racewear, your source to all custom racewear, apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Pick it up today at rnrracewear.com.
Was it here?
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping.
Oh, it was.
53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis.
They almost had it saved.
City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC,
was
proud sponsor of the IROC series.
Funkhauser.
UMP modified in Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late.
Classic
Visit us at Spartan Dash.
fuel saving who's hitting the clutch where.
Back at Chicagoland Speedway, Aaron Smith with yet another race win here in the IROC Challenge Series. Let's pull the driver, the number 70, up into the broadcast booth and get a word with the driver that's got so many wins already on the season. Aaron Smith, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
Yeah, he's interviewing Aaron right now.
Aaron, congratulations. I don't want to say this is becoming old hat. I know winning is always fun no matter how many you got. But there's 4 stickers on the fender of that number 70. You're going to add another one here tonight. Tell us about your race, the strategy. You were fast right out of the gate. Took tires there late versus Brian McCann, who did not. Do you think you could have held them off?
Yeah.
Took those 4 tires?
It's always gambling.
I think I would have been fine if we got a caution there, aside from Jaden on his strategy. But yeah,
I know, man. Every week,
I didn't expect to be so quick firing off on those old tires.
I'm always on a different strategy than him.
Fortunate enough to only lose,
but it's always the wrong one.
Run before I pit. But yeah, I'd say those 2 laps that I didn't wait to take those last sets of tires made the difference there.
We've seen this week in and week out, drivers saving fuel right at the outset of the race, within the first lap, maybe even 2 laps, guys putting the clutch in, lift and coast all the way into the corner. It seems to be a pretty important part of the strategy, yet somehow you manage to still maintain pace when you do it.
I thought we were still good, though. I didn't think he would be able to catch back up.
Saving your fuel, your tires, and going as fast as possible. I did pretty well managing that in the first stage with Brian sitting on my back bumper the whole time. But
yeah, like 4 laps.
Like we have this hard limit. And on all of these 1.5 milers, you can only go 31 laps if you save from the very beginning. So I tried to make the most of that, and I want to hit as late.
Oh, no, you're good.
Save as often as I can to try to make it as far as possible. But fortunately, that didn't really play a factor tonight.
So with that, next week, it's not a mile and a half.
Yeah, we were. Me and you about the same lap time. I just dropped back and pitted 1 lap early to beat you on the pit.
Save fuel, aside from just tucking yourself into the draft, and really tires probably don't really matter all that much next week. What's your game plan and your strategy for the super speedway?
I just want to stay alive, honestly. I don't know if we're getting a faster pair or not, but my main objective is going to be to stay alive. I've made up this really big points gap on second place in the points right now, and it's all been for this race. So if I can get out of Talladega scot-free, I should be able to have an easier job getting the championship done.
Well, Aaron, again, congratulations on the race win here at Chicagoland. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Well, I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC channel for putting this show on, as always. I'd like to thank you for broadcasting, all the folks for watching, as well as everyone in the field for letting that race play out. It's always fun having these clean runs to the finish, and hopefully we'll have more of them.
All right, Aaron. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Certainly wish you the best of luck next week out in
All right, good race. I'll catch y'all next week.
Right,
thank you.
Aaron's been very fast all season long. He's really been the only one to give a real challenge to Aaron Smith, but he comes up just 1 short. Again, Brian, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going good, Brian. Another solid run, but unfortunately, as we said, just 1 short once again. I don't know if you had an extra tire set over the wall or not, but if you did, would it have been enough to hold off Aaron Smith there at the end?
I did not have a tire set early on. I think it was like lap somewhere around 60. Me, Brandon, and Garrett took tires and came out and just clocked off some laps, hoping to build a good gap on Aaron. Aaron didn't take tires, so it was kind of one of those situations. It's like that almost every week. Either it goes green at the end or goes yellow at the end. It's almost like gambling. So we chose the green, and somehow, some way, I guess there was enough time there. Aaron had enough time to get back up to me at the end there, and there was about a 4 laps where difference where maybe my strategy would have been better. But congratulations to Aaron on that one.
Well, it didn't pan out for you tonight. Still a solid points run in P2. Next week, we go to the great equalizer, the super speedway. What's the game plan rolling into Talladega?
Find a buddy and not wreck.
Well, I guess that's a good way to start. Certainly not wrecking makes things a lot better at the end of the points. But do you have anybody lined up as far as drafting partners and such? Is Kevin back from vacation next week?
Yeah, he'll be back, and I'm not sure about Tim, but I'm sure I can find somebody. So yeah, just go out there, and I know the bumpers on these are a little bit weird about bumping, so we'll have to practice around with that a little bit, see if that's even gives you an advantage to bump drafting or not. So we'll check that out.
They're better than they were, but they are not perfect by any means. So that's going to be an interesting tidbit to watch out for next week at Talladega. Brian, again, congratulations on a P2 finish here tonight at Chicagoland. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, man, just thank my family, you for doing the broadcast, amazing broadcast you do here, the league admins and race control, our sponsors, Spartan Transportation. Big shout out to them. The drivers, man, for showing up every week and coming out here and putting on a great show. Thank you.
All right, Brian. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Talladega. Number 83, it's Brandon Mefford bringing it home into a third place finish here tonight. Brandon and Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Brandon, congratulations.
I'll stick around and see what Brandon says here.
Had some laps, was in a good position there, but you finished P3. Was there anything that you could have changed up strategy-wise that could have yielded maybe a top 2 or maybe even a race win here tonight?
Man, I guess just do whatever Aaron does and hope he can be out in front of him. He's each and every week he figures out the strategy and is very fast there at the end and makes it happen. So, yeah, I don't know. Me and Brian were kind of on the same deal there and try to get out and, ahead everybody and hope for a caution, get some guys a lap down, but it just didn't work out for us.
Didn't have excellent qualifying pace. Started back at P8. He made up 5 spots to finish here in the.
There was one moment there where I would have had the whole field a lap down.
Or was it just that's what you had underneath?
It was about a 6.
No, I got down.
Might have been more like 10 laps.
I entered a little late, and it just killed my exit. So, wasn't real impressive qualifying run. If I had to run what I did in practice, I'd have been right up there, top 2 or 3. But I had a fast car all night.
Well, with that, Talladega Super Speedway is next on the docket. Certainly going to be a challenge in these new Gen 4 Cup cars. What is the strategy and the game plan rolling into Dega next week?
Keep the fenders on it.
Well, I guess that sums it right up. Before we let you go, Brandon, I want to give you an opportunity here. We've been talking about this Care for Kids 200 that's coming up here. We'll put it up on the screen here so everybody can see it. Why don't you tell the folks that are watching that might be iRacers that might want to participate, or even maybe potential sponsors that might want to help out for that upcoming race?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Like Steve said, September 23rd, we've got a charity race we're going to put on. This is our 30th annual race. We've raised quite a bit of money, a little over $3,500 the last 2 years total, to benefit 2 awesome charities that help kids that are in need. Ellie's Place out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Zoe's Place out of Greenfield, Indiana. So we're always looking for donations, definitely looking for drivers. Donations can be made to my PayPal. You can check out the link. I'm sure it's posted in here somewhere. And then even sponsors, anybody that can't race and just wants to donate, always welcome. Got a lot of guys that have already chipped in to help make this successful. So shout out to everybody that shared and posted and helped us get this out there. It's really for a good cause and very proud to be a part of it. So myself and Doug Wysocki and Tyler Hilton really put a lot of effort into this. But again, shout it out there and hope to get a bunch of guys September 23rd. We're going to be at Michigan in the trucks and hoping to raise a bunch of cash for a couple of great charities.
Certainly looking forward to it, myself included. I think I'm going to jump in the truck myself and get out from behind the mic and behind the wheel, try and turn some laps in the truck out of Michigan. I think I ran it last year as well, kind of last minute. Didn't go too well for my sake, but we'll try and get that field nice and full for you guys. That should be a fun one. And
last year I wrecked Kevin on lap 1 during that race.
Looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve.
Well, Brandon, before we let you go, man, who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you for the broadcast. I got to shout out to Spark Transportation. He really does a lot to help this IROC series stay up and running. And Chris Swally putting in countless hours to make sure we all have a place to race. R&R Racewear, 5-Star Graphics, all my buddies back at Charity Motorsports. Got to thank them. We have a great time doing this. Look for us on Facebook here soon. We're going to start up a page and hopefully share some of our stories out there and help promote these charities that we race for. And then thank all the fans that came to watch. And then lastly, my family for, letting me stay up all night to do this here at 11 p.m. and make a lot of noise while they're trying to sleep.
Fair enough, Brandon. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Talladega.
Thanks, buddy.
Brandon Mefford, your third place finisher here from Chicagoland Speedway. That's going to wrap it up for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, and